Good evening and welcome to what is going to be a fantastic evening of music and musical performance by our 10 plus schools in Korea who have come together over the last couple of days to enjoy learning music together, practicing music together, and now culminating in their final performance. My name is Stuart Ken. I'm the assistant principal in the high school for grade 11 and 12, and it's my privilege to welcome you all here as our guests at Seoul Foreign School for this evening. But I also want to welcome all the students who are on stage. Thank you for coming and participating, and the students who are yet to perform, sitting in the wings. I want to thank you, and I think it would be appropriate to start this evening with a big round of applause for all of our student performers and what they're going to present tonight. I know it goes without saying that your hard work, dedication and practice is something that your schools are proud of, your music teachers are proud of, your choir teachers are proud of, band teachers are proud of, and your parents are incredibly proud of. So we do thank you for your talents. A few announcements before we get underway tonight, dealing with your phones. Many of you would like to take film of your children or the performance this evening. You are welcome to use your phones to record this evening's performance. It is being live streamed as well and performed, but we do ask that if you can refrain from using flash photography. I know we would appreciate that, and I say that on behalf of the people performing on stage. So feel free to use your phones. If you can switch them over to silent mode, that would be absolutely wonderful. And feel free to film, but please refrain from using flash photography. As is our tradition at Seoul Foreign School, on an evening like this evening, we do start our evening in prayer. We do have a lot to be thankful for in what you're going to see tonight and the gifts and talents of these young people. So if you can join with me with just a short moment of prayer, and then I'll leave the stage and the program will begin. Lord, we want to thank you for the gifts and talents that you have blessed these young people with. We thank you for their dedication, hard work over the last couple of days and over many, many months of their lives. We thank you too for the parents that have supported them as they've sent them off to lessons and encouraged them and guided them. For their music teachers, choral teachers, band teachers who have worked with them and shown a dedication to their talent and the desire to impart knowledge, we thank you. We pray tonight that their nerves will be calmed, that their performance will bring glory to you, and that they will enjoy themselves. Amen. Please welcome again to KIMEA 2014. Good evening.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Lundgren. I'm the Director of Bands at Korea International School, and I am serving this year as President of Korea International Music Educators Association. Just a little note about who we are and what we do. Our organization is very young. We're only in our third year of existence. It's basically an organization of music teachers at all the international schools in Korea, and we realize that we can't provide all of the musical experiences that we want for all of our students by ourselves. So it's really it's a team effort here at KIMEA, and these events are for a lot of us in the organization, these are what we remember from our high school years, and we wanted to provide something similar for these students. The event you are going to see this evening is our biggest event of the year. Back in October, about, I think, roughly 500 students submitted auditions for either the National Honor Choir, the National Honor Orchestra, or the National Honor Band. And less than 50% of those students were actually selected for participation. So the students up on stage this evening represent the best of the best. So give them a round of applause for their hard work on that. You are in for a treat. We have some fantastic musicians, as I said, and the guest conductors that have been working with these students over the past couple of days are just phenomenal people, phenomenal musicians, and it's going to be a wild ride. So I hope you enjoy the concert. Just a quick technical note: we have a Facebook page, which is where we're keeping all of our photos and all of our live streams. So if you are in the process of turning your phone off, or turning it on silent. If you run over to Facebook and search for the long version of our name, Korea International Music Educators Association, feel free to like us. We love that. We're going to be dumping all of the photos from the last couple of days, from lunch, from rehearsals, from the concert. Students, feel free to tag yourselves and share around. That's fine. We're also going to be putting the link for our live stream, which is going to be archived. So if you would like to watch the performance later on, it's going to be saved indefinitely, so you'll be able to do that. So we encourage you to do that. And that's all I'm going to say now because I want to get to the music. So please welcome the students to the stage and enjoy the show.
Greetings. My name is Audrey Duncan, and I am the KIMEA Orchestra Division Chair for our organization. I have the extreme pleasure of introducing our conductor for this evening, Maestro Lee. He is an extensively talented and skilled violinist, violist. He's performed internationally within Korea extensively. He also carries degrees from Juilliard, Champaign. He's an amazing conductor and has worked all over Korea and internationally. Perhaps what I'm most impressed with by the maestro is actually watching him with the orchestra the last 2 days. These are some very talented students, and they have a great variety of skills, but it takes a solid conductor to work that into a very good ensemble. Further, it's hard to do that with minimal rehearsal time. So over the last, past few hours, yesterday, Friday, they've worked on wonderful skills in ensemble and phrasing and articulation and just higher musicianship. So I think it's been an awesome learning opportunity for these students. They've given an amazing amount of effort, and I truly hope you enjoy what they have to offer. It is wonderful. So without further ado, I introduce our conductor, Maestro Lee.
Good evening once again to all of you, and thank you so much for being here at our KIMEA Kayak National Honor Festival. We are pleased to introduce to you the National Honor Choir. My name is Allison Liso. I am the choral director here at Seoul Foreign School. I'm also the choral division chair for the KIMEA board, and it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you our guest conductor this evening, who has been working the last couple days with our choral students. Dr. Timothy Peter is an amazing, incredible person, musician, an inspiring teacher, educator, and conductor. He is currently down in Florida at the Stenson University in DeLand, Florida, where he teaches a variety of choral methods courses, conducting, and he also directs 2 choirs there. Previously, before his appointment at Stenson, he was at Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, where he was head of the music department. He was also a graduate of Luther College, and several of our board members on the KIMEA board, as well as kayak and KIMEA teachers from around international schools here, are Luther graduates, myself included, Jay Lundgren, our KIMEA president, and we just hope that you truly enjoy what Dr. Peter is about to lead these amazing young students in this evening. It is again my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Timothy Peter. Please, let's give a warm welcome.
It's an honor to be here and to share our music as young singers with you, the audience, and fellow students and educators. Our first selection, Haydn from one of the late Masses, and our second selection by Brahms, a beautiful poem. As you saw at the end, love is lost but never conquered, and so the pain and anguish of love is reflected in the last moment of that piece. Our next selection, the third piece on the program, is an exchange in program order. We'll be singing the Israeli folk song in Hebrew, Evrel Shasho Shanim, a beautiful setting, poem of the roses. It's a great opportunity to talk about observations of young people, and I am so encouraged by the future of what young people in our musical arts can create and offer. And it's a message of hope and promise. And the next selection, I guess you'd say, is a throwback to the 1960s, when in the United States, there was probably some interest in the expansion and voice of our young people making a change in the future. For example, if you've ever heard of the group Peter, Paul, and Mary, Well, that folk combination spread across much of the world, and this is a little resurgence of that. But the message now is, let's think about our planet and the people around us and how we can have as little impact as possible. So this next selection, with Allison Lee on our violin and our fine percussionist here, we're going to have a little folk melody and yet share the message of, let's tread lightly on this planet and see if in fact we can make a difference. What a great medium to do it than through music.
Oh
We move around a lot on the risers, and yet it's kind of a celebration of how the flexibility of this group can change the way we sing and how we stand and who we sing by. Go ahead, men. These are great students, and we celebrate all the good things that they offer musically. Congratulations to the orchestra, and we look forward to hearing our band and our fellow musicians at these schools. One thing I'll say about this specific group of students, they are marvelous young men and women in the humanity of all of it. So we're so thankful that you've done your work as parents and teachers and educators to kind of bring them to this point where we hope then for the rest of their life they'll foster the development of good music in our culture and in our communities. Because that's what I think we're all about, especially at this stage and age in our lives. So thank you. It's been a joy to be back in Korea specifically for this event. My deepest appreciation to all those who hosted, planned, and executed this great event. Our last selection takes us to the Black Gospel Church of America. We're going to loosen up, and in fact, it would be okay if you even slapped your knee or clapped a little bit in this piece. You can be free to share in that joy of making good music.
Good evening. I'm Sophie Holbrook, Band Director from Asia Pacific International School. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I serve on the KIMEA board as the Band Division Chair, and I am also the music coordinator for all the kayak schools. It is my distinct pleasure tonight to welcome to the stage a fabulous guest conductor who has been with the National Honor Band for the past 2 days, and he's been here in Korea this week working with several of the international schools. Dr. Timothy Robley comes to us from Northwestern University, where he is the Associate Director of Bands, and he conducts the Symphonic Band of the Contemporary Wind Ensemble. Prior to his graduate studies, he taught in Palo Alto, California for 9 years as a middle and high school band director, where I myself had him as a teacher from 6th through 9th grade. I can honestly say that I am in this profession today because of his inspiration that he gave me as a young musician, and I have seen that inspiration come alive again as he's worked with these students on stage. It's the joy and magic that he can bring to music that really makes the music more than just the black and the white on the page. And it is my distinct honor to now welcome him to the stage, Dr. Tim Robley.
I will join in thanking you for being here today to celebrate the achievements of our students here and to celebrate kind of the impact of music in our community. It's wonderful when that community gets as wide as ours is, and it's a great joy for me to be here from Chicago to spend the week in Seoul and to be with these fabulous people and their fabulous teachers. So I thank you for joining us to kind of enjoy that. You see behind me a painting that is part of the inspiration for the next piece on the program. The piece Toledo by Bruce Carlson reflects two great influences of other pieces of art. One is the painting you see in front of you, which is painted by the great Spanish painter El Greco. It was painted towards the end of the 16th century and depicts the town of Toledo, in which we can see kind of the calmness of the grass underneath, the city kind of sitting in the center, rising toward the top where we see the monastery and the chapel, and then the gathering storm up above. Also within the city, at about the same time that this painting was being done, there was a great poet in the Spanish language named St. John of the Cross, who was a monk that at the time had fallen afoul of the rules of the church and was accused unjustly and imprisoned for a great number of years inside this very city. And we don't know exactly where that cell was, but he describes it and nicknamed it the belly of the whale. And the belly of the whale he described as a cell being about 6 feet by 10 feet long. And he spent about 10 years in this cell, in which time he spent a great deal of his time writing a great poem in the Spanish language known as the Spiritual Canticle. And in contrast to the painting that you see, the Spiritual Canticle has energy that's very calm. It's very centered. And we hear within this piece the composer's attempt to portray both of these. Both the energy that you see on the painting in front of you, and also the energy of this poem, which is very calm, very light, very centered in a way that this painting is not, and kind of explodes off the canvas. And the composer, Bruce Carlson, asked the players to make this sound and this feeling in some very unique and different ways. And we've enjoyed over the weekend getting to prepare how to kind of create these feelings, these sensations, without the benefit of notation that tells us exactly how to do it. So you will see the players at times having to improvise their own parts, having to kind of place their music within a context of the larger group. You will even see them stopping to take a look at the painting and talk about it in the middle of the concert. And finally, we will bring all of that energy back to the Spiritual Canticle, and you'll hear the theme of the belly of the whale. So I hope you enjoy this wonderful piece by Bruce Carlson, Toledo.
Hello, everyone. Before we perform our last piece, I'd like to take a moment to just talk about some events in the KIMEA community. I think if you talk to any of the teachers, especially the teachers that work within KIMEA, we have kind of a family mentality, not just because we like each other, but even if we don't, we are still forced to work with each other and live with each other. We have a very good time together, and we really enjoy these events and putting on these events for the students. But sometimes we don't always have good news. And this fall, we actually lost a member of our community. Those of you from SAWS, I'm sure, are aware of Miss Irene Lee. She taught at SAWS, which is Seoul American High School. She taught band and orchestra there for more than 25 years, and she actually just retired last May. And we found out just over the summer that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and we lost her this fall. So we'd been talking before the event, and we wanted to do something to honor her, because I can say quite honestly, without her leadership in the beginning and getting Kayak started for music and getting the very first few KIMEA events off the ground, we would not have events like this for our students. And beyond that, Irene was one of those students, and I know there's many of her students here, including the new director at SAWS, the new band and orchestra director is a former student of hers, so her legacy is living on there. But Irene was more than just a good music teacher. She was one of those teachers that made the students love music and love life, and she was a fantastic role model. And her students, I really think they'll tell you they're better people just because they knew her. And I think, while not all of us here know Miss Lee, and most of us probably haven't even met her, I do think that we all have a Mrs. Lee somewhere in our lives, either a music teacher or a parent or a teacher in another subject or a spiritual leader or somebody who has influenced us in a positive way and helped us become the people we are now. And this is why I like this type of event, because I don't know most of you, but I do know either you're an honor musician, a friend of an honor musician, or a family member of an honor musician, and that means I like you. So I can say with confidence that everyone in this room you're good people, and you're not good people because you taught yourself to be that way. So what I would like to do in honor of Miss Lee is, if you can take a moment, if you're a former student of Miss Lee, this will be easy for you. But take a moment and think of someone who helped you become the person you are now. And I would like to just take 1 minute. We're all very busy people. We have many things going on. We have concerts, we have tests, we have work sub-plans to make up for. We were all gone. Everyone is missing work. You're all excited to get home. But I think, thank yous are things that we never do often enough. So if you can just take 1 minute, and I'll time you, take 1 minute and just think about that person who helped you become the person you are now. And now, with that person in mind, whoever that person is for you, would you join me, and those of us on stage, would you join us as well? Would you join me in giving that person a round of applause? There are a few people we need to thank. Well, there's a ton of people we need to thank. First and foremost, if you are an SFS music person or an SFS support person, that would be Mr. Taylor, Ms. Staten, Ms. Liso, the Roddick, Mr. and Mrs. Roddick. They're all over the place. They might be hiding, they might not. But this event is a lot of logistical work and a lot. I mean, if we counted the number of emails between all of the directors and these poor faculty members, it's just crazy. They've worked so hard for these students, and a round of applause isn't thank you enough, but that's all we've got right now. So please thank our hosts. Two additional groups. These students haven't played, all the groups you've seen, they have not performed or rehearsed together until yesterday, but they all have been working with their music teachers in their home schools on this music for quite a while. So if you are a KIMEA music educator in the room somewhere, would you stand? And let's thank them for their work in getting the students prepared. So I think most of them are backstage. Now, the people we really need to thank, if you are a parent of a KIMEA honor musician, there's hopefully a lot of you, would you stand so we can thank you for letting us teach your wonderful children? Parents in the room, wherever you are. I think we will be formally thanking our conductors at the end, but I will say thank you again for coming, and we'll do the last bit after. This next piece needs a bit of introduction, yes? All right, so I will give you Dr. Robley.
I didn't plan on crying until after the concert was over. Thanks so much for that. So I won't make any more thank yous to teachers because I'll fall apart completely. But I want to add one more thank you to that, and I'm going to make it to the people in all three of the groups. But if you don't mind, I'm going to turn your back on you and talk to my people here. Band, it's been a joy to get to know you. I am so honored and pleased and touched by how open you have been to trying new things, getting a little bit out of your comfort zone. And just being so welcome and opening to me. And it's just a joy to make music with you. I am so excited for how your lives will go forward and how you will take some of these things with you and be with each other and be with other people in the same way that you've been with me this weekend. So thank you for that. And choir and orchestra, thank you so much for your performances. I know your directors feel the same way about you because I've spoken with them. And it's just a great joy and a privilege to make music with such fabulous people. So for all of you, thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to say one more word. Absolutely. Let's say one bit of word about the final piece on the program, Single. Jonathan Newman is a friend who currently lives in Portland, Oregon, and we spoke to him this morning, his last night. We went back in time and spoke to him in Oregon, and he said a few words to us about this piece and explained a little bit about where he was coming from as he performed it. And I will say it's a great joy to share music of friends and to share it with people that take really good care of it. So I think you will find, although it's a wonderful piece to close with, it's a very serious piece. It opens very similarly to Beethoven's Eroica Symphony. And from there, we'll see where it goes. We're joined a little bit with a little bit of help from some of our teaching friends, and maybe their spouses too. So we thought, what better way to celebrate music and community than to go out on stage and play together. So we hope you enjoy Jonathan Newman's Single, and thank you so much for being here with us tonight.